Hey everybody, thanks for clicking on this video. I've been away for a little bit trying to get some things in order, but now I'm back with a new homemade MRE video. This one has been so much fun to do, and it was in response to a viewer comment on another one of my homemade MRE videos. If you've ever seen any of these before, you know that I'll go to a different store each time and try to build a homemade MRE based on things that I get at that store. And in one of my videos, this viewer commented, "How about Ollie's?" It never occurred to me that Ollie's would actually be a viable source for this, but let me tell you something. I was not only successful, I was tremendously successful with this one. It was so much easier than I expected it to be, and I love the way that it turned out. Now, if you'll stick around through this video, I'm going to show you not only what's in the MRE, but we're going to prepare it and we're going to try it, and we're going to see if this works out. Now, as with all of my prior homemade MRE videos, there are rules to this. For one, I try to build everything from the same location. I don't like using things that I've gotten here or gotten there, and maybe one day I'll do a video of the ultimate MRE where I go to multiple locations and piece one together, and if that's something you'd like to see, leave me a comment and tell me about it. But here are the rules. For one, everything in the MRE has to be ready to eat from the package. It can't be anything that requires reconstitution, no freeze-dried or dehydrated food that has to be cooked in order to be eaten. Now, we do want to be able to cook it, we do want to be able to enjoy it warm, but everything has to be able to be eaten straight out of the package if that's what it comes to. The only exception is if I have a drink that needs to be prepared, like something that you pour into a bottle of water or something like that. The next rule is that everything has to have a shelf life of at least 1 year from today's date. I want to make sure that everything that I put in this package, that if I have to take this thing and put it in a drawer or set it in my car or whatever, and it takes me the next year to get around to it, I want to make sure that everything in it is as fresh as possible when that day comes. Finally, the last rule is the MRE must contain an entree, a side, a walking around snack, a dessert, and a drink. All of this has to be included. It all has to be from the same place. So everything has to follow those rules. And mostly that's just more about the challenge that's involved with that more than anything. And sometimes that is a real challenge. But today, this was surprisingly easy. Let me show you this thing real quick. So here is my homemade MRE from Ollie's. Now, why do I build homemade MREs? Well, here's the thing. MREs are expensive. If you buy these things at the store, they can be upwards of $25 per meal. And then once you get into that package, you're likely to find some things in there that you don't want to eat. Now you've got things going to waste. The idea behind the homemade MRE was to build something that contains only things that I know I'm going to use. I don't need an MRE that comes with things like raspberry drinks because I don't like raspberry. I don't need MREs that come with things that have spinach in the meal because I don't like spinach. So if I want an MRE that I know I'm going to enjoy and I'm going to like everything that's in it, I'm going to build it myself. It's a lot cheaper this way too. I can control the cost, I can control the items that are in the package. So without further ado, let's tear into this thing, let's start preparing it, and let's see what all is in my homemade MRE from Ollie's. I'll get out my handy dandy Cobra Tech knife, and let's cut this bag open. So normally I would start this with the entree, but because the side really kind of drove the direction of what I decided to do with this, I want to start with that, and that is this pouch of peri-peri rice. This is a spicy tomato and pepper steamed rice. It's ready in the package, but it's microwavable. We're going to cook it today using my Barrel Cook flameless heater. So this could be cooked with a flameless ration heater like you would get out of a military MRE. You could put it in boiling water. You could do a lot of different things with it. So I got this, it caught my eye, and then I saw this. It said, great with chicken. Normally when I'm doing meals like this, I try to avoid things like tuna pouches and stuff like that because it's just so overdone. Found this pouch of premium white chicken, and with seeing that the rice was really kind of made for chicken, I figured this is perfect because it takes a little while for the Barrel Cook to prepare the food. I'm going to get my entree started. Let's go get this in the Barrel Cook. Let's get cooking. And then when we come back, we're going to explore the rest of what is in that MRE. So first off, we're going to add our chicken on the very bottom. I'm going to do that because I want all of the flavor of the rice to kind of coat this chicken, because honestly, prepackaged chicken like this sometimes has kind of a weird packaged taste, which is another reason I don't like using it if I can avoid it. It's not as pretty in there as it is in the package, is it? Next, we're going to add our peri-peri rice. Boy, this stuff smells really good. That smells delicious. I'm going to pour the rice over the chicken, like so. I'm also going to add just a splash of water. I just want to make sure that this heats up nicely, and I think having a little bit of extra water in the rice will help. So flame this heater in here, and we just add water. See it blowing up? All right, now it's starting to cook. So we'll get that on there. We're going to close this, and now we're cooking. Okay, our rice is cooking up. Let's see what else is in the MRE. All right, so for my drink, I got this Bombay Black Chai tea bag, which I'm gonna go ahead and open up and get this brewing so that everything will be ready. So here's our tea bag. Very classy looking. Smells wonderful. That's gonna be good stuff. Let me get that in some water. So I got my little Arctic mug here with some hot water in it. Get that steeping in there. Soon we'll have some fresh tea. All right, so the next thing in our bag is these snack time crackers. Now, this is one of the extras that I got in here. It wasn't really a requirement, but I really like these. I've had them before in another MRE. They have a really good long shelf life. They taste good. They're packaged in these smaller packages, so I can eat some of that. I can package it back up and take some to eat later, or if I'm feeling particularly peckish, I can eat the whole pack and not feel too bad about it. But it also means that I don't have to buy a large package and then open it and repackage it, which is going to shorten that shelf life. All right, for my walking around snack, I got this Wicked Cuts beef jerky, orange teriyaki, and that really caught my attention. I love teriyaki jerky. I've never had orange teriyaki jerky. So I grabbed that, and I think that's going to be really good as a walking around snack. Now, you can eat it with your meal if you want, but the purpose behind getting what I call my walking around snack is in the event that I've got other things to do later and I might need some food, I can take that and I can just put it in my pocket or what have you. So that's gonna be enjoyable. Next up is my dessert. I got these shortbread cookies. These are really good. I've had these before. They've got a good long shelf life to them. They are absolutely delicious. They taste like you dipped a stick of butter in sugar. I mean, they're so good. That's going to be a good dessert, right? And then there's an extra bonus with this one. I came across these things and they weren't really part of the standard menu for this, but I found these candies. I mean, look, I got on a tear in Ollie's. You can get really distracted or you can get really overwhelmed. There's a lot of stuff in there. But I came across these wild cherry candies. They have a super long shelf life, so you don't have to worry that you're going to open them up and they're going to be all stuck together or whatever. As long as you take decent care that they don't get hot or what have you, these should be still fresh for a good long time. And I figured these would just be like a little extra added bonus. If you need a sugar rush or whatever, you've got these in your back pocket to take with you. So if you don't know anything about Ollie's is a clearance liquidation type store, kind of like Big Lots and places like that, where they buy up a bunch of bulk of items that weren't selling at other stores, and they turn around and clear it out. You can get some really good stuff really cheap. And when it comes to outdoor stuff, I mean, check out all this Coleman gear that they have at my local Ollie's. If you're looking for outdoor gear, this is a good place to go and see what you can find. But I don't want to get distracted by this because I'm here on a mission. Picking through for entrees, there was a whole lot of different meats and stuff that were available. You know, I found this roast beef and I looked at that. It would have been a really great item for an MRE, but it's kind of a large portion. I didn't want to end up wasting anything. Now, if I was going to build a 2-person MRE, this would be absolutely perfect. So if that sounds like something you'd like to see, you know what to do. Leave me a comment. Tell me you'd like to see that. All right, so now we've got our entree inside going over here in the Barrow Cook heater. We've got our tea brewing, and we are getting ready for lunch. And I'm really anxious to try this. I have a feeling this is going to be really good. So one of the great things about packing these MREs up in these large vacuum seal bags is it also gives me a place to put all my trash. So as I use the individual items, just throw it in there and I can tote that out. So while we're waiting on the entree to cook, I'm gonna go ahead and try this jerky, this orange teriyaki jerky from Wicked Cuts. We're gonna see just how this is. Ooh, it smells really good. That's a very different smell. I can smell the teriyaki, but there's just that edge of orange right there. It's super tender. At first you don't taste the orange, but then it really kind of gets up into your nose, and there's that very strong release of citrus. That's really good. All right, so dinner's just about ready. Let's try this tea real quick. It smells wonderful. It's got a very rich, floral kind of smell to it. It's almost a Christmassy kind of smell, which is great because it's right around the Christmas holidays. So let's try this. See how this tea is. It's very hot. Ooh, that's really good. It's got a really good flavor to it. A little bit of floral note, nothing too strong. You can taste the tea leaves, which I always like in tea. I don't like drinking what amounts to flavored water. If I'm drinking tea, I want to taste the tea leaves. That's really good tea. You know, the thing about it is if you're using MREs because you're in some kind of a disaster situation, you're having to break into these things because you don't have other things to eat or you don't have a way to prepare other things to eat. It's always nice to know that you're going to be enjoying the things that are in here. I say it over and over again on this channel. Food is morale. And if you don't have good food, you're gonna have bad morale. Put things in here that you're going to enjoy. And things like this tea with this amazing flavor, this is the way you want to go. If you want to fill it up with Kool-Aid packs and things like that, you do you, but I prefer stuff like this, something with just a little bit of sophistication and something that's just a level up from what you would normally get in something like this. So our entree is done. If you've never seen one of these barrow cook devices, I've done a video in the past about just this. It's a super cool product. It's designed for, of course, emergency preparation and whatnot, but if you're going camping in places that don't allow fires, or if you're just going hiking and you need a quick way to heat up your food, this thing is super cool. It's got this neoprene sleeve on it so that you can hold it even if it's hot. So we're gonna open this thing up and have a look at what's for lunch. You know, the thing about it is, this is not just something that I'm preparing just to kind of see what it is. This is my lunch today. So if it's no good, I'm out of luck. So here we are. There is our peri-peri rice and chicken. So I guess technically it's peri-peri chicken. I mean, that doesn't look half bad. I'm trying to, ow, the bottom is a little hot. All right, so we need one more thing. Crackers. So we can have these with our meal. So let's set those there. Let's try this. I've been looking forward to this since I went to Ollie's and bought this stuff. I've really been looking forward to preparing it and trying it and seeing if it's any good. I expect it's gonna have a little heat to it. It got really warm. That's surprisingly good. It would be better if I had maybe some hot sauce or some pepper flake or something to give it that extra kick. Anytime you buy something on the mass market that's labeled as spicy, it's usually not. This has got some heat to it, but it's not a lot. It's just enough to give it a good flavor. Got our crackers. We can load those up if we want to. You know, this is really, really good. The more I eat of it, the more I'm enjoying the flavor. Even the chicken, even that packaged chicken, it's absorbed enough of the flavor of the rice that you don't really register this as packaged chicken. And it's got some pretty good chunks to it. All right, I'm not gonna make y'all sit here and watch me eat. I'm gonna finish this up and I'll bring y'all back in a couple of minutes. That was so good. The more I ate of it, the more I enjoyed it, which, you know, that can be a problem. Start shoveling food down. Honestly, it's been one of the best MREs that I've made the entire time I've been doing this. And for that to have come from Ollie's, now understand that when you're shopping at Ollie's, you may not find this stuff. You may go and not even see the same stuff that I see. I imagine there's a lot of regional stuff that goes on, and once these items sell, they probably don't have any more. The purpose of this exercise is to show that I can go to this store, even though there's an irregular inventory, I can still find enough stuff to build a worthy homemade MRE. So we got one last thing to try. Got these shortbread cookies. I already know these are good. Here's our dessert. There is something so satisfying and nostalgic about the flavor of these things that it's automatically a mood improver. Oh, I almost forgot. I said that was one last thing, but this is the one last thing. Got these cherry candies. The only downside to these is they're not individually wrapped. So once you open it, it's open. They're these sanded sugar cherry candies. Those are good. That is just that right dose of sugar. All right, so that's it for this homemade MRE video. I hope you enjoyed this. What was your favorite item in this MRE? Tell me about it in the comments. What would you have done different? Do you know of a store that I can go to that I can build one of these MREs? If you decide to do this yourself and you film it, tag me in the video so that I can go watch it and see what you've done. That's it for lunch. That's it for this video. I'm out of here. Don't forget to like this video, to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so that you can be made aware of all upcoming videos. And until the next one, prepare for the world that you live in, not the one you wish existed. We'll see you around.